What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out Project Power. It's a superhero film on Netflix, although I wouldn't necessarily call it a superhero film per se. It's more like a film in the superhero genre, just because our characters aren't necessarily superheroes. They're not even really heroes. They're just protagonists that can do special stuff. Like, they got superhuman abilities. Same with the antagonist. They got superhuman abilities. And it's not based off of any comic book or comic book movies. It's definitely inspired, but it's not based off of any of those source material. And they're just characters who can do really cool stuff. Now, the way they're able to do it is because they take this pill, and it gives them that ability for a limited time. Does that sound familiar to you? Because it actually reminds me of the movie Limitless. Remember Limitless? Bradley Cooper, he takes a pill, then suddenly he's really, really smart. He's so smart that he's like pretty much the smartest person alive, right? So that's basically what it is. It's Limitless meets X-Men. And it's Limitless meets X-Men because in X-Men, you got these mutants with superhuman abilities, and then the government wants to capture them, and they're treated differently, right? And there's a secret agency who wants to harness their abilities, right? And do experiments on them. So that's what the premise is in a nutshell. So this film stars Jamie Foxx, who's one of my favorite actors. Then there's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's also one of my favorite actors. It also stars Rodrigo Santoro as one of the bad guys. So I'm already sold on this movie, and I checked it out, and I gotta say that it looked promising, and I didn't actually expect too much from it, but it was a little bit underwhelming. And I'll explain why. It's underwhelming because for a movie in the superhero genre, you don't see a whole lot of superhero stuff going on. I mean, sure, they have it here and there where they demonstrate their superhuman abilities, right? But they don't take it that much further than just demonstrating what they can do. And they do it in a very, it's almost like a very subtle way. It's never really over the top. Like, it never gets Avengers style, and I never really expected it to be Avengers style or something in the level of X-Men. I was just wanting to see a little bit more than what we were given for a film that could create this type of expectation. So I feel like they kept the genre, like they've made this film in this genre, and they kept the film very, very street. It's very, very street level, if you know what I mean. They keep it very, very grounded. They don't take it over the top. You have all the cliche elements, like you have these people with superhuman abilities. They're treated very differently. A secret agency, a private agency, they want to, like an organization, they want to capture these people, harness their abilities. The cops don't really matter to them. They just want to, they're above the law, and they just want to take these people's abilities, right? So all these cliche things are there, right? The only thing that really makes it different is really just the characters. Jamie Foxx's character, he has his own motives to stop these people, this evil organization. And then there's also Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who plays a cop, who has his own set of motives. And I feel like this film really only gets better once they meet. They have two separate stories, but it takes us at least halfway through the movie until they finally meet. And then I'm thinking like, okay, finally they meet. Finally they explain to each other their own motives and missions and why they're doing this. Finally the film starts getting better, okay? Because I was interested at the beginning, but then it just it doesn't really go anywhere that interesting, right? The story's progressing along, and we're understanding, these characters and what their motives are, but it never really goes anywhere that exciting. It doesn't really develop to really great heights, right? It doesn't really level up, okay? It only levels up later on in a little bit past the halfway mark where they meet each other, but then after that, the superhero / supervillain fighting isn't really that exciting. It's almost like their superhuman abilities is really an extension of their hand-to-hand weapons. That's all it is. We have these guys who are obviously stronger. We have these guys that can camouflage, but they don't really do very much with it. You know what I mean? It just feels like, okay, they've demonstrated their abilities, but what can they do that's cool? Like, show us some cool stuff that they can do with it. And it never really takes us there. It just gives you just enough to feel like, okay, that was cool. Now let's see what else they can do. You know what I mean? It just doesn't get to those. It's like a teaser. The whole film's like a teaser. And I also feel like the film is just kind of, like the superhero action is just kind of poorly shot, where you feel like it's just not satisfying enough. So that's really a bit unfortunate. I feel like they did have some potential, but they didn't take it farther enough. Like, it was unused potential, untapped potential. They could have taken it somewhere else, like further, and made it more exciting. So because of that, I'm just gonna give this film a 5.5 out of 10. Like, I definitely think it's better than your average flick, but it wanted to go somewhere, but it didn't quite take it there. So 5.5 out of 10. I mean, still check it out if you're a fan of those guys, but there are definitely better movies than, starring Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There are way better movies. I feel like their abilities, they were kind of wasted in this movie, so that's unfortunate. Anyways, 5.5 out of 10. It's on Netflix, so if you have a subscription, do check it out if you really want to, and there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed my review, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.